Well, I'm quite excited. I'm so excited.
Oh yes, I am so sorry. I was a mess. I was a mess. Um, I was in my pajamas. I'm not moving as much because of COVID. The only time I'm moving is when I have interviews because World Sickle Cell Day, so I have radio and TV interviews. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You
So
look good yourself. You're such a
thank,
healthy warrior.
thank you. Thank you. You are looking great as well. It's so good to
Thank
finally
you so
meet you.
much.
So how do I call the
Thank
name?
you.
Lwimba Kasongo?
Yes, Lwimba Kasongo.
Kasongo. So I got it well. Okay, thank you so much for honoring my invite to Victor and Not Victim channel. It's such an honor to
It's a
have you.
pleasure.
And I'm excited about what technology has done for us. My colleague is just saying, somebody you have not seen before. I say, yes, that's what technology does for us.
Exactly.
So we can connect anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're
It's
welcome.
such an honor to be on your show. I'm
Yeah,
so humbled. Like
yeah.
I'm from all the way from Zambia, and you're like from Nigeria. And Nigeria is known to be like the largest world sickle cell advocates, communities, NGOs. So wow, for me it's such an honor.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So let me quickly read your bio. Okay, so Lwimba Kasongo is a sickle cell warrior, an advocate who has been living with sickle cell for over 30 years. Wow. She calls herself a warrior because she has come this far despite the challenges surrounding her condition. Lwimba holds a university degree and she's also a full-time visual artist. She paints and she draws. Lwimba currently volunteers at 2 hospitals in our city as a way of helping our fellow sickle cell warriors. Through her story, she encourages others who are walking the same sickle cell journey. Wow, I'm so impressed. I think I was trying to look for your social media. I couldn't really trace anything. Then I
Yeah.
stumbled on I think it was an interview that you did with somebody that said, oh, she's a strong warrior, she's doing a lot. And I'm like, wow. I was able to read the things she wrote about you. And you're doing
Oh,
so
beautiful.
well. And thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank
Uh,
you. I was having challenges with my account for like 3 weeks. But
Okay.
now if you search for me, you'll be able to find it. Or I can just send
Uh,
you the link.
okay.
Yes.
Thank you
Yeah.
for what you do for the sickle cell community.
Thank
Okay,
you.
let's get right into it. Can you share
Sure.
your sickle cell journey with us? How has it been growing up? Diagnosis. We're usually interested in the diagnosis, but I didn't know early. I didn't know about sickle cell until I was 17. I didn't know I live with sickle cell until 17. My parents were giving false results while I was growing up. So I lived with that until 17 when I got the full picture of what was actually happening. So can you share your
Wow.
sickle cell journey with us, your own diagnostic story, then growing up with sickle cell? What was it like for you?
Sure, no problem. I'm surprised, 17, but then like I said, you look like a really healthy warrior.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, my journey started I was 6 months old when my
Okay.
parents discovered that I had sickle cell. So I was in the hospital with jaundice and swollen joints. So then, after the doctor looked at my symptoms, he asked my parents to do a sickling test. So at the very hospital, they did the sickling test, and that's how they discovered that I have sickle cell at 6 months. So yeah, as early as 6 months. Yeah, so I can tell you that I wasn't even able to walk. Um, I started walking like at 2 years, like 5 months, and the doctor told my parents that your child will never be able to walk again because of sickle cell. So just yeah, they broke it down to them like that, and I am the firstborn, so you can imagine how difficult that has been for my parents to know that their firstborn baby will never walk and has sickle cell. It was blow after blow. But like they always say, delay is not denial. The fact that I delayed to walk doesn't mean I eventually started walking after 2 years. So yeah, so my parents were very supportive. Obviously, they did their research. They started to research about the disease. At that time, unfortunately, it was not like we are now. You know, the babies that have been with sickle cell, the oh, sorry, the babies that have been born with sickle cell have information now. They have the internet, they have better services, they have better doctors, you know. So they researched on it, and they decided that's how they started managing me with sickle cell. So growing up, like I said, I'm the firstborn. My parents went on to have 4 more children who came out AA. Yes, so I was the only one with SS.
Wow.
I can, yes. And I always ask my mother to say, what a risk you took to literally go all the way to 5 children, knowing that your first was SS.
Wow.
Yes, you know, like people get scared. I meet people who be like, I don't want to have another child because, you know, my first was SS.
I know
But
people
no,
like that. No, like a big risk.
Yes, exactly. Wow. And then, yeah, she went on and had 4 more children, and all of them came out AA, you know. Wow. So, you know, life is a game of chance, I'm telling you. So in God's hands.
I am 1 in 6 too, but reverse is the other. I am the last born. So they didn't have to, they didn't even know that they had anything like that in the gene. They didn't even know anything. So they were just having their baby. So I came as the last. And the only
as the last.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So can you imagine that order? Wow.
I can imagine, because for you it was like healthy. And then sickle cell, so that's what happened in my case. So growing up, like I said, family for me was very supportive, and in all honesty, for someone to really be solidified with to carry the cross of sickle cell, you really need support. And the first place that you need to get your support from is your family members. So my brother, my sisters were very supportive. Like even when we'd manage it from home, we'd literally turn the whole night into a hospital, water bottle, water therapy, hot baths, painkiller wraps, you know, so they'll take shifts the whole night, you know, that kind of a thing. And of course, if it gets worse, we go to the hospital. Wow. But nothing could have prepared me for the stigma that I was about to face when I started school. So high school for me was a challenge. I was bullied because first of all, I used to walk around with yellow eyes. I was skinny. I had a bloated tummy. You know, sickle cell has the spleen complication. So I had a bloated tummy, and people would laugh at me. You know, they would literally say, oh, you're always sick. I would miss school terms. People didn't want to be friends with me because I was so skinny. I mean, if you were to see me like the way I was in high school, you'd literally think I'm a toothpick wrapped in a tissue. I was so skinny, and then I had this bloated tummy and yellow eyes, constantly falling sick, and it was difficult. So I was isolated. I didn't have friends. I would cry every day. I would literally go to my parents at home and tell them, I don't want to do school anymore. Wow. So much that by the time I was finishing the last grade of my high school, I told my parents, I'm done with school. I quit school. I'm not doing this again. Because I didn't want to go through what I went through in high school. Wow. I had no plans to go to college. I had no plans to go to university. I had no plans for any future, because they said, first of all, sickle cell people don't live up to 21. People don't live up to 16. And here I am, I completed when I was 16 exactly. So I said, after all, I'm dying. You know, so what's the point of me applying for colleges and all these things? You know, but I don't know, you know, my 16th pass, 17th pass, that's when reality sank that, oh my gosh, this may not happen. Yeah, so anyway, I went to college, and I can tell you that when I went to college, I hid my condition. Like I said, I didn't want to go through what I went through in high school. So I decided to zip up, you know. But then, you know, with sickle cell, you can only hide it for too long, you know. So the same, yellow eyes. I would lie about it. I'd be like, oh, I was studying all night. But hello, studying all night brings red eyes, not yellow
No
eyes.
yellow eyes.
Exactly. I do. Sometimes I'll just be like, oh, I think I have yellow fever. So what's I tell you what started happening is that I was choking with lies that I couldn't keep up anymore.
Wow.
So eventually I started talking about it, and my parents encouraged me to say, you need to stop hiding your condition, because one day you're going to find yourself in a serious situation and nobody will help you. So begin to speak about it. It took me time to start talking about it, but like I said, the lies were too much. They were choking me up to here. I couldn't keep up with the lies, so I started just opening up about my condition. So when I went to university, I was okay, because at that time now, in between college, at that time, I accepted the situation. I would go to the hospital and see people who are walking the same journey with me, because we have a clinic there where we do our reviews, our 6 months reviews. So I would meet people, and I'd be like, oh, okay, so I'm not alone, so that helped. The support from my sisters, my family members, but I only kept it in a small community. But later on, as I started working, I told my employers from day one, this is my situation. And I've come to realize that when you talk about it, actually, it's even much lighter. You know that?
Yeah.
Because then people take you as you are. Even my workmates they took me as I am. There was no more stigma. There was no more laughter. People understood my situation. Even if I'll take sick report after sick report, my boss was so understanding. It wasn't a situation whereby they wanted to fire me or transfer me or cut my salary. No, they maintained everything. They knew and understood my condition. So talking about it really helped me. And here I am today. I've accepted my situation. I'm a warrior. I've come this far despite the challenges. I've been to university. I've worked. I'm doing my own stuff. So after that, I quit my full-time job because I wanted to concentrate full-time on sickle cell advocacy. I started doing it part-time, but it started interfering with my work, because then I would have to take in leaves and everything. So one day I woke up and said, what, just go into this full time. So that's how I resigned and started my voluntary work. So people ask me, how do you make your money? Because it's voluntary. Yes, it is voluntary, because I don't represent any church organization. I don't represent any NGO. It's just Lwimba, who has lived with sickle cell, who wants to help others on the same journey. So, like I said, I'm an artist. I draw and I paint. How I make my money, I sell my paintings. Also, I hold exhibitions. So if I display 25 paintings, then I charge an entry fee for a ticket to come and see my work. So for example, if I have 25 pieces and I'm holding an exhibition that day, I'll print out like maybe 30 to 50 tickets, then I'll charge about between $7 to $10 to come and see my work. So depending on the number that comes in, that's how I make my money.
Wow.
And of course, the voluntary work.
Wow. Thank you for
So that's my
sharing
journey.
this. You've taken almost all of my questions together. Thank you for sharing this thought. So what prompted advocacy? Considering the fact that you were bullied, you went through stigma during high school and all that. I mean, I felt that should literally just make you withdraw. I mean, because naturally, for people I've interacted with, those are the things that make warriors just withdraw back to the corner and just say, it's okay, let them do life and let me just be here in the background. I don't even want to talk about it and all that. So, I mean, having experienced that, what built that courage in you to come out to say you want to become an advocate for this same cause?
Okay, yeah. So like I said, it was a situation whereby I would go to the hospital, like for my own reviews, and I'll see a lot of people, like I'll literally see it on their faces, broken, discouraged, about to give up. And I would literally understand them from my experience point of view. So even when somebody walks in, I could tell the stage at which they're at. I'll give you an example. maybe we are like, probably, let's take an example of 20 warriors waiting to see the doctors this morning, right? The ones that come in wearing headsets and are just concentrating on their phone, either they're watching a movie or they're watching YouTube, those are the ones that are not ready to talk about it. Then there are those that will be interacting and be like, hi, where are you from? I'm from Japan. Also, and they're sharing their experiences. Those have accepted their situation and ready to talk about it. You see? So, and because, yeah, then those that mind my own business, you know. So all those stages I had passed through them, and now I'm able to identify them in warriors. You see, so that's what actually drove me to do this, because of my own experience, because of the stages of sickle cell, the stigma, the bullying, I knew that the people around me are going through the same thing. And if I have gone through it and have overcome, then it is my job to help those that are struggling with it so that they too can overcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I hear you. I hear you so well. So my understanding of what you just taught me now, Lwimba, is the fact that instead of withdrawing back to the corner because of the experiences of the stigma and all that, you took it as a form of strength and say, okay, if I've gone through this, then that means there are other people that are still in one of these stages I've passed through. Let me use that experience to help them to really come out of it and all that. And this is such a good thing. And we need to say this over and over again because warriors need to hear this. I still meet warriors that just don't want to literally just associate themselves. Maybe it's denial, I can't really say. Maybe they are not facing the reality, but they don't just want to talk about it. They don't want
and
to.
it's crazy that I have met people as old as 45 and they don't want to talk about it. They're still hiding it. And I'm just like, wow. Yeah, you know, so it's difficult. It's a hard journey. And I salute warriors that talk about their journey because it's not easy.
Yes. Okay, so tell me, how has it been in Africa? This recording is about sickle cell advocacy in Africa. How has it been for you advocating for this cause in Zambia? What is it like in what is sickle cell advocacy like in Zambia and other Africa places that you've had opportunity to speak on or something? What has it been like for you?
Okay, so I'll speak on Zambia in particular. Zambia, we have Ministry of Health is very supportive because we have our own sickle cell ward. So meaning that even the doctors that come in are strictly hematologists.
Wow. Sickle cell ward?
So, yes, we do. We do have a sickle cell ward. Yeah, so I'd say the Ministry of Health, the government is really trying to help. It's just that I think we need to reach other parts of the country because that is in the capital city only, you know, where I am. Other, what you guys call states, we call them provinces, don't have those facilities. Yeah. So we only have clinics in about 4 other states, but when it comes to a sickle cell ward dedicated for sickle cell patients, it's only in my city, and that is one city. So I think that's where we're lacking behind. In terms of work through advocates and NGOs, we have about 7 organizations. These 7 organizations come together, especially on events like World Sickle Cell Day, to do on-ground awareness, TV interviews, social media, radio, webinars, name it. But I think our greatest challenge is funding because we would like to reach all parts of Zambia. We'd like to reach all parts of the country, but because we are only limited to our NGOs, it's difficult to reach other areas. So what we do is we engage Ministry of Health, and what they've done is that they have put sickle cell like a board committee where all our affairs are addressed, and then the representative for the sickle cell community goes on the Ministry of Health board to push our agenda. So I think the fact that Ministry of Health engages with us is a good start, but I can tell you that Ministry of Health as well obviously has other diseases under their umbrella, and looking at the numbers, they can't be compared to other diseases, for example, like HIV. So they will fund what has more numbers compared to something that doesn't really have. Yeah. So, and I think the challenge, I haven't interacted with other advocates because I've interacted with advocates from Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and I've come to realize that the challenge is the same in all African countries. You know, Ministry of Health doesn't really support them as much because the numbers, they would like big numbers, you know, so that is a challenge. But I think it's a day at a time. Rome was not built in one day. One day we'll get there.
Wow. I mean, that's just a step ahead. The fact that I'm going into an hospital where I'll be admitted into a sickle cell ward, and I know that it's just hematologist that understands me that will come.
Yes,
it's comforting enough.
yes.
So that's like
Exactly.
a step ahead of what we have here. And is there any form of health insurance or something like a subsidy for sickle cell?
For
Anything
sickle cell?
like that?
No,
Okay.
no. So this is actually our agenda as advocates and organizations right now. We want to push for that because it's working very well in Tanzania. You know, Tanzania has come up with an insurance policy for sickle cell patients,
Yes.
and it's working brilliantly.
Yes,
So
yes.
if we can also have that, yeah, because I must mention that, like I said, the sickle cell ward is only in my city, one province. So if we can have the insurance cover these other parts of the country, I think it would be great. So that's definitely an agenda that is worth pushing.
Okay, so thank you so much. We are wrapping it up gradually. So what helped you? I mean, because this is a whole new level of boldness, becoming much more than a warrior, becoming an advocate and standing for this cause. I mean, going to the extent of, I mean, you're a big sister, going to the extent of resigning your paid job to really sign in fully to give you time for this advocacy thing and all of that. So, I mean, what has helped you? What advice can you give to other warriors that haven't even gotten to the stage of wanting to talk about it? What do you think can help? How do you think we can encourage warriors to come up and say, it's better when you talk about it rather than lying and just trying to cover up?
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what has helped me? I always tell people that when I wake up in the morning, when I'm brushing my teeth and I'm getting ready, I look into the mirror and speak to the person that I'm looking at. You are beautiful. There is nothing wrong with you. You are normal. You are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Wow.
You are the apple of God's eye. So what I'm trying to say is speak positive words into your life. Just speak, be positive. The world out there will tell you, you will die, you are sick, this, that. But the power is in your hands to change everything.
Yeah.
So speak it into your life. So that's what I do. Every time, even when I'm like refreshing my makeup, wherever I see a mirror and I see myself, there goes Lwimba. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are a fighter. You are more than a conqueror.
Wow.
So that has helped me a lot. And then keep busy. Keep very, very busy because sickle cell thoughts can really drive you crazy, you know. So read a book, watch a movie, learn something on YouTube. Okay, start an online book club because these days everything is online. Online book club. Yeah, go into your garden, start a garden, grow some spices. You know, whatever. Like there's so much to explore out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I blog. I blog on my page. I'm always writing. I'm an artist. I'm painting. I'm drawing. I'm holding exhibitions. I cook. I have a cooking show on my Facebook account.
Please share with me.
So I post all these.
So
I post all these
link.
recipes. Sure. I post all these recipes. So, like I said, you know, everything has gone online nowadays. So you can do so much. You can. So the idea is to keep yourself busy. That is the idea. Yeah. If you're able to go to school, go to school. You know, get all the papers that you wish to get. Keep yourself busy. Don't allow the thoughts of sickle cell get to your head, and try to stay with people all the time. Don't isolate yourself because that leads to so many thoughts. And yeah, so that's the advice I'll give. Another word of encouragement, look, I thought I would die at 16. I'm 39
Here
today.
you are. Here you are.
Yeah. So please, you need to know that death is not about sickle cell. It's about God. Okay, anything can kill you: accident, malaria, BP, labor.
Yeah.
So you need to live your life like you're a normal person. Don't even for 1 minute think that you're not normal. You
Yeah.
are normal. You are whole. You are complete as you are. You are perfect as you are. So go after your dreams, chase after your dreams, do whatever you want. The sky is the limit. It will be challenging because, you know, as sickle cell, we have all these do's and don'ts. But trust me, the sky is the limit. It's not about sickle cell. It's about being human first before you are a sickle cell patient.
Yeah, I love that word so much. You are human first before we are even discussing genotype at all. Wow, thank you so much. I hear you. You've taught me about affirmations. Like I have to start doing that deliberately. Like wake up,
Yes.
look at yourself. Don't let what the world say get to you first. Let it be you speaking
Exactly.
to yourself first. You can run the world irrespective of whether sickle cell or not. Affirm yourself positively and speak to yourself, then be engaged, get busy. I know about that so well because there was a time that when I got diagnosed at 17, all the thoughts in my mind was, this is so unfair. So I literally took my time on thinking about the sickle cell, the effect of it, what will happen to me, what will unfold, instead of really forgetting about it and just running my life and all that. So I hear you so well. Get busy, be engaged, explore. I mean, if it is academics that excites you, go for it. And whatever excites you, joy and all that. Thank you so much. And I love the part of the progress Zambia is making on the advocacy part too, like that. We pray that, I mean, the whole idea of this whole thing is that finally we'll have a voice and that they will listen and really, really plead our cause in the coming days and years. That's the desire, that at least sickle cells will not feel like the world is unfair to them, and then they can have the proper care they need, really. Thank you so much, Lwimba. I'm so excited.
You're so welcome.
That you gave me your time.
You're so welcome.
It's recording. Thank you. Okay, so
thank you.
And I'll put it in the description box when we post the video. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Have a lovely day.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.